how you can make magic suit specific context, or magic suit a context you are seeking. And to delve more into it, we'll skip the intro for today. These aren't even the notes from, this is from last video. Let me set that aside. Ultimately, what I want to avoid is you just walking up to, like you, can you imagine this? Some man is over there and they just come up to you and they just go, hey kid, you want to do a trick? It's just, we want to avoid that. That is like the ultimate nightmare for me in seeing a context. Unless it's like, you know, some special event or something and it's logical, sure, the event makes it logical. Outside of that special context, how can we just make magical suit a general context? I want to list a few of those reasons today. One I used to do, and I'll give a first example, personal example. I used to work at a venue, possibly as a host. And one of the things I like to do is the guests were all lined up, ready to go in for brunch, for their brunch time. And people would line up like half an hour early. They were so excited because they knew it would line up and fill really fast and tables go fast. You get all of it. And I remember them just like waiting around, and they're all, some were excited, some were just tired of waiting. They had to wait an hour, maybe talk to friends, or if they were on their own, it was even more difficult, you know. So what I decided to do, and if I would go up to the spectator and say, excuse me, miss, you've got a little, and then they would go, oh, no, what do we do? Coin right here. And I would produce it from their shoulder. Shoulder is acceptable, okay? Then they go, wait, what? And I go, yeah, don't worry about it. It happens all the time. I'll get rid of it, toss it away. And, yeah. And then they just go, what the heck? And then it inspires more, and everyone is now excited. They all want to be part of what just happened. And it was great. So just, you know, it now suited context, and the context was I want to correct something, even if it's just a ruse. Technically, it's just a ruse, contextually. But the ruse got us into wanting to correct something because of the high standards of beauty and the, I don't want to say propaganda, but the spin doctoring behind it. That, you know, I think women are beautiful just the way they are, but, you know, personal opinion, and I know there's 1,000 arguments to go around it. But we now have a way to go inside. It's just correcting. Excuse me, miss, you've got a little, and then they're checking, and then production of coin, okay? And now we can do whatever we want with the one coin routine. And from this one coin, we can then go into cards or whatever, suiting the context of how long you have. Again, context is the key word for this entire video. Being mindful, and then the context, how far you can go. So that's one ruse I used to do. One other level, I'm just giving examples, and you can always create your own. You could even mention in the comments section. That's always fun. It's like a barter, kind of a loose barter. I'll say, sure, I'll do this favor. and if it's not forced or you're not behind in doing something you already have to do, and they just want to do it, and they go, okay, here, can you do this favor? And I would go, sure, here, but also, can you just check out this quick trick just before I get to that? I just really want to practice it, and then you can do whatever vanish you like, impress them, and then you get to test and work on your stuff. So it's another way you can loosely practice on material. For those hesitant to do so, you always do it under a loose barter and make the trick not too fast or not a dealing trick. Otherwise they'll question, man, I don't want to have him do anything. he always makes me watch tricks. He or she. So there is that level of bartering. And then one of my personal favorites, just because I'm usually hesitant to perform. I don't like to be thought of as just a person who, hold on, okay, it's still recording, great. You never know. Is just a dance monkey dance. That is, like, for me, the most fearful thing. Not fearful, but just the most antagonizing, just being thought of as a monkey entertainer. And even people say dance monkey dance was the absolute worst. And you'll hear when I used to be at the castle, they probably still mention it, and it's like you're like almost worse than a clown in some cases. And that's not a very good position to be at. You would want to be thought of as a professional in all this, and give a professional level show. Ultimately, that's at least what I think. And teach their own. They all have their own styles and way of doing it. Maybe your style is to mix a bit of that into, you know, and I'm not trying to disrespect clowns in any way, but it's just be thought of so low. I've seen it, and I've changed people's continually after my show. You'll say, "Wow, you changed my perception of magic. I thought it was this. I thought it was that," and it's just that dynamic. You know, you have to go over. But I went on a tangent of what to avoid because and in the context of performing for as an icebreaker or stuff of that nature, wanting an opening piece for a lot of situations for opening up to tables and stuff of that nature is my friend. You could just walk up like this, walk up to a random group, assuming they are, you know, the context is right. You're not interrupting anything crazy. It's just like a casual lunch. You go up to them and you go, pardon me, my friend bet me 5, 10, whatever amount, $20, whatever it is for your country. My friend bet me that I cannot entertain you with a card trick, or for 5 minutes with a coin trick, whatever it is. And I'm like, can you help me out with that? And they're like, in most cases, like 80 to 90% of the time, sure. They want to see something special. They want to see a special card trick. You're not trying to take from them. You're actually giving them something, which is a unique dynamic to be in. Like, you know, for anyone needing something, it's like that creates that situation. But in the case of, hey, can you help me out? I'm giving you a performance, a unique performance. And again, going off the rule that a lot of people have only seen real magic, like up close or in person, on average 2 times their lifetime, that makes this experience very special. And that's really cool. So it opens up that dynamic, just to open up to people. And assuming, you know, this is also loosely a PUA tactic. I won't go into it further, but it just has certain advantages going into it. I personally don't need to use it anymore, but just saying it is there for that purpose. So those are just a couple of methods I just wanted to just talk about, and how to ultimately avoid, hey kid, you want to see a card trick? And just like a creepy situation, and giving a dynamic where it is acceptable, or at least open the noggin up to different ideas. You can create different ways to make that context perfect for your standards or your situation, whatever the context may be. So with that said, wishing everyone a wonderful one, and see you next video. Bye now.